funds and supplies, but you need a place to track your stuff, cause you're so disorganized. You click open the web page, you heard about a critical role, and now you're ready to kick some butt in that mine shaft full of no's. It's TNT, TNT Beyond, yeah, TNT, TNT Beyond. You got your stats, you got your swords, and you got your invisible war. It's TNT, TNT Beyond.
Hello and welcome to another Dev Update and Community Q&A session. I am Adam Bradford. I'm the Product Director for D&D Beyond. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. Love is in the air. We've got some special things going on because of the love holiday today. So we're going to jump right into it right now. Let's talk about the lineup. So for today, as I said, love is in the air. We got some, little surprises coming, but we also have a contest that we want to run today. So we would like to, throughout the stream, everyone that's in chat, hopefully people are actually in chat somewhere. People that are in chat right there, I would like for you to share. And, oh, hold on one second. Every time I go to Twitch, it like starts screaming at me. I have to mute it. All right, there we go. All right, so we are going to, in chat, let you tell the best or most interesting romance or love stories that have ever happened in one of your games or the games that you've played in. All right, so this cannot be a novel, because our poor moderators would never be able to consume that content. And when I choose a winner at the end, I certainly will not be able to. But if you can elevator pitch it, if you can, movie description, kind of like if you're going to IMDb and you're talking through what the movie is about with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks or whatever, then that's going to be the ideal length. So if you can share in chat, you might want to preface this with like love story or something where the mods know what's going on. Hopefully they would know what it was a love story anyway, because otherwise it probably isn't going to win. But preface it with love story and talk about some time, or even, it can be multiple sessions, some kind of epic romance that has happened in one of your own D&D games. Share that, and at the end, we will choose a winner. And that's just going to arbitrarily be me doing that, whichever one I think is the most interesting or sweet or lovey-dovey or whatever strikes the fancy at that point in time. And you will win a legendary bundle if you win with the best love story kind of movie description. So hopefully that's clear enough for everybody. But you guys share your love stories. And I can't wait to see what we come up with. Also, we're going to get into something else, about love here in just a second. But we're going to get into latest updates, in progress development. We're going to take a look at, I tweeted out something about the nascent crawling out of the primordial goo encounter builder this week. So we're going to take a little bit of a look at that. I'm going to break it as much as I can for you today. We'll talk about what's upcoming. We'll give a data update. I'm pretty excited about this one. We've got a lot of requests to talk about multiclassing. So we're going to get into that a little bit today. And then, as always, as much time as we have left, I will cover that time with any questions that you all might have for me. All right, so getting into, let's see, next. I think this is what we need to do next. All right, so let's talk through one of the updates that we wanted to share is that I'm not sure if you guys have heard of Twitch Sings, but oddly enough, D&D Beyond is in the beta for Twitch Sings because we aim to do at some point here in the future, it might not be a weekly show, but we aim to do some one-off shows and streams with some D&D personalities out there, and we're going to have a karaoke battle with some of these personalities. So it should be a lot of fun. We wanted to test that out a little bit today, and actually the tech, we couldn't quite get everything to work exactly how we wanted to, but that's why we test. But in testing, I wanted to share just a little bit of, let's see. No, I think no. All right. We're going to talk, we're going to go through Twitch Sings for just a second, and then I'm going to share a video. But the video itself is really, really important to me because I dedicate it to my incredible wife of 17. We've been married so long that I legitimately have started forgetting which year it is. I think it's 17, possibly 18 years at this point. But she has been my mainstay. She is my favorite person in the world. I am so grateful that she's been along on this adventure with me. And so I wanted to, as we were trying to test out Twitch Sings a little bit today, dedicate this to my darling Cynthia. So we'll see how this goes. I'll admit I could feel it the first time that we touched, and the look in your eyes said you felt as much. But I'm not a man who falls too easily. It's best that you know where you stand with me. I will give you my heart, faithful and true, and all the love it can hold. That's all I can do. 'Cause I've thought about how long I'll love you, and it's only fair that you know forever's as far as I'll go. When there's age around my eyes and gray in your hair, it'll only take a touch to recall the love we've shared. I won't take for granted you know my love is true, 'cause each night in your arms I will whisper to you. I will give you my heart, faithful and true, and all the love it can hold. That's all I can do. 'Cause I've thought about how long I'll love you, and it's only fair that you know forever's as far as I'll go. Forever's as far as I'll go. And the crowd goes wild, apparently. All right. So I'm not sure if you guys can hear me. Hopefully you can. But all right. So that was again for Cynthia. I love you. You are my greatest adventure. And thank you for the life that we've shared. Has been incredible. And hopefully many other decades to go with that. All right. We're going to try to do some fun. I don't know how to quit this at this point. Oh, here we go. We're going to do some fun things with Twitch sings in the future, especially with, we'll see. We'll see if we can get Matt out here to sing a little bit with me, some other people. It should be a really good time. So keep an eye out for that. Latest updates. We did have a map pack release. So the digital maps reincarnated went out last week. We've had some very good response to that. So I imagine that we will end up having more of that type of thing come out on D&D Beyond in the future. So really appreciate everybody that's bought into that. It's going to allow us to do some really cool things there. And I wanted to start sharing a little bit in this latest update section some of the things that maybe are not publicly available, because sometimes I think there's possibly this impression that work is not going on just if that code is not being shipped to all of you, where you can get your fingers on the keyboard about this. So I wanted to, occasionally here, I'm going to give a peek behind the curtain a little bit about some actual in progress development. And we have essentially our wireframe for the encounter builder is now alive on our staging environment. And so we're going to take a look at that right this second. Actually, let's see. Wow, somebody help me out. I thought I had this pulled up. Somebody in the challenges team, where's my link to get to this? We're going to see the magic of Slack. I'm going to talk for just a second so the stream of the lake can get through. And then somebody is going to magically paste a link for me to be able to get to this encounter builder. Perfect. We got it. All right. So here is the work in progress encounter builder. We're going to zoom in just a little bit where you guys can maybe see what's going on a little bit more here. But you're going to be able to, again, this is all wireframe. This is not remotely. So if this gets clipped somewhere, I'm going to continuously say, in progress design, nothing about this is remotely final. We're going to make this look a whole lot prettier before everybody gets their hands on it. But we're getting the skeleton together at this point. So you're going to be able to choose different campaigns. We'll have some presets here that you can do. We will also have the ability to, so let's say that I have 4 level 5 characters, and one of them, because I'm a mean dungeon master, I let them only progress to 4 because they were late for one of the sessions. So we've got that going on over here. You see all the math is going to be taken care of for you over here. All of the thresholds, I think this is working at this point in time. That's one of the math was one of the things that we've been working on this week. So I think that the math is working, but you can see this over here. So you can, you're going to be able to search for monsters. This is going to appear in this center section, very similar to what you would see for the monsters listing. So you're going to see that come in there. You will be able to, so for our tabby, we have some wonderful, this looks like cat ipsum here that we have here. So our primary front-end developer on the encounter builder here might have a little bit of a problem with cat obsession. So if you can't tell that by what is being built here, but ultimately building out the skeleton, you'll be able to see what's going on with that monster. You can add the monster to the encounter. You'll see in this right sidebar, this is where things start to come together. You can also, hopefully this is going to work, you can click and drag to get those monsters out of there. I don't think that dragging back works yet. Not quite yet, but you know, that'll be there. You can change quantities. You see this is going to slide up here as you go. So you can do all of that with the monsters. You'll be able to filter in the left sidebar here. So I really like, these are not the actual pictures that you will see with this. Again, little bit of a problem with the cats. I mean, if this was dogs, it would be completely fun. But we've got our cats. So you'll be able to filter various things. You'll be able to filter by source. Eventually, maybe not the first pass, but eventually you'll be able to filter by all of the filters that we have on the monster listing. And so you can, you know, add all of these things in here. Oh no, that's my wife. Did you guys see that notification? That's great. I maybe should cut notifications off, but yes, you're welcome, honey. So, I will talk to you after. All right. It's like, I'm trying to work here, dear. Okay. Happy Valentine's Day. All right. So we've got monster type, all of these things you can filter by. I really love what's going on with challenge rating here. We don't have a label on this yet, but this is challenge rating. You'll be able to slide. You'll be able to type if you want to there. Everything's going to work very nicely for you. Size, same thing. Oh, not yet implemented. See how that works? All right. So then size, you'll be able to do the same thing. Everything will filter there. So again, this is, why is everything popping up? Adobe, leave me alone. All right. So again, very, very early here. I'm going to say it one more time. In progress. I legitimately think that someone after me saying that this was in progress on Twitter asked, you know, can we be sure that we take a little extra time to make it look better than this? So there was a misunderstanding there. This is not how it's going to look. This is us trying to get the functionality in place, and then we will give it a beautiful makeover. And I'm really excited for you guys to be able to see that. We will see how we progress on this in the coming weeks, and we will see about trying to get this to alpha testers who are our subscribers. So if you're a subscriber, you're going to be able to alpha test this when that time comes. And trust me, we are chomping at the bits. We're trying to get this out for alpha. And as soon as we're able to do that, we will let everyone know. All right. Also wanted to call out here articles. Some outstanding content has been going up as of late on D&D Beyond. I am completely, hold on one second. I feel like a big cough's coming on. I'm going to mute myself. All right, I think we're good. Okay, so articles. It's going to be outstanding. Encounter of the week. If you have not been checking these out, it really is quite incredible what is being posted in the Encounter of the Week. You can find that under articles. These are really, really good. James Hake is knocking it out of the park. So very happy that this series has started. Check these out. They are so great to just drop into an existing game, which we love. So we're going to continue to do this. The response to this has been very positive. We also have had what I think is an incredible article just yesterday, I think. So Role Playing 101 with character identity. I encourage everybody to check this out. We've also been doing Critical Role spotlights instead of just straight up recaps like we were doing. James is digging into certain elements that happen during the session and drawing that out and having a broader discussion about it. I really love the approach that he's taking with this written content. And we've got some special guests coming also the rest of this year. So we're excited about that. Can't talk about it yet, but we've got some special guests. But James, especially just on a week in, week out basis, is really creating some great content. And I hope that everybody goes out there and checks this out. It is really worth looking into. In progress and upcoming. So nothing has changed from what I shared last week. No priorities have shifted. Everything's going. The difference being that I have seen a mega menu on dndbeyond.com. Now, only we can see that, admins can see it, but I have seen it, and so it is getting closer and closer to being out. So hopefully we'll have more to share on that before too much longer. And then I've shown you guys the encounter builder, and then with characters, the mobile beta, the character sheet getting into the mobile beta is really rocking and rolling too. We've been having several meetings even this week. I'm seeing things start to take shape there. So nothing is moving from an in progress to finalized yet, but lots and lots of progress is being made, and the teams are really settling into a really good groove. And I'm excited to see what that's going to mean in the weeks and months to come. So upcoming content management is still the priority for the content team after mega menus get in place. And then we're going to get to my characters page updates. All of those things are going to be happening for too much longer. All right. Got another pretty exciting thing here, which is a new logo treatment for D&D Beyond. This was an idea that I had based on, you guys can go out there and check out Dyson Logos. Absolutely incredible work. Did all those black and white maps in Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So check out the work there. But then also, you can probably Google around and see a sample map that I can't talk about on the stream because we're PG-13, but there's a sample map out there that I saw, and I was like, oh, wow, that is an incredible idea. Let's do that with our logo. And so we commissioned Dyson Logos to do this, came up with this. At this point in time, we have, I think it should be going out across all the things, but we have some wallpapers that you guys can grab if you'd like to do that. So I think in Twitch chat, we've got some links going out. If you want to decorate and adorn your desktop or your phone with a wallpaper using the Dungeon Beyond logo here, then by all means, jump on that right away. Really, really proud of this work. I am sure we are going to see this on some t-shirts and other things before too much longer. So really, really excited about this. And if you're in chat, you can grab those and start using those wallpapers today. All right. Oh, let's talk about multiclassing. I need a drink real quick while we get ready for that. All right, multiclassing. Okay, we're going to come over here to do this, actually. Is there a way to... It's like F11 or something, right? Oh, I did it. I remembered a hotkey. All right. So, multi-class characters. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit on this. Maybe it helps. So, lots of questions about multi-classing. So, I wanted to jump into a little bit of that today. So, out of all the active characters on D&D Beyond, we define active characters by those characters that obviously are not in a deleted status, or characters that are not have not been suspended because of subscription lapse or anything like that. So they are not in those statuses, and there's some reasonable sense that maybe they're played. We will never know this 100% for sure. Because unlike World of Warcraft, we aren't collecting the actual time played here yet. But we are, trying to do things like have hit points been updated? Have they been leveled up, and not just going straight to 20? We try to do some things like that to narrow the data set into something that is as sensible as we can get it. So out of all those active characters, we see that 11% of those multi-class. So 11% of all active characters multi-class. This is a lower percentage than I actually anticipated. And I think it's an interesting thing to look into. So the percent of level 20 characters that are multiclass rises considerably. And we see that that goes up to 27%. So that's just giving a picture into. Now, let's be clear about this too. We did not include first level characters here either, because obviously a first level character cannot multiclass. So this is active level 2 or higher characters that we're looking at. 11% multiclass. If they make it all the way to max level, a much higher percentage of those characters multiclass. So looking at the most popular combinations, or classes rather, for multi-class characters. This is not a surprise because, let's see if this will work. Yeah, that's okay. This is not a surprise because fighter is the most chosen class, but fighter is also really, really powerful from a multi-classing perspective. And so fighter is in charge here. Now, what you're seeing with the different colored bars is the lighter blue is all levels. So that's level 2 to 20. That's what you see, and that's the percentage breakdown. And then with the other, the darker bar, that is at level 20. All right, so that's just showing you which of the classes are popular for multi-class characters. Now, if you are getting really serious about this and you start looking at percentages on these bars, even the light blue, it's not going to add up to 100%. The reason for this is because we have wanted to make sure that we didn't scrub any data, and this does include multi-class characters that take more than just 2 classes. All right, so the fact that you can take more than 2 classes in this analysis means that this is not going to add up to 100%, but it is still showing you the relative popularity of these different classes, depending on that the level break points there, 2 to 20 or 2 to 19. It is 2 to 20 full sample there, and then just at level 20, this is what you're seeing. So fighter, rogue, warlock, sorcerer, bard, all those are pretty popular when it comes to multi-classing. Barbarian's right there in the middle. All right, so starting to look, let's see, minimize. So the most popular multi-class combos, and this is for 2 to 20, we see that fighter rogue is the most popular multi-class combination, followed by barbarian fighter, and then rogue ranger, and then sorcerer warlock. So this is an interesting peek. You see that warlock bard is the least popular combo that we see here on this analysis. That actually doesn't make a ton of sense to me because I love being a bard and dipping a couple of levels into warlock to get that nice eldritch blast and then using magical secrets. I would argue that a warlock bard is maybe the most magey mage that you can get in 5th edition. But you see that there, that fighter rogue dominates. When you get up to level 20, you're going to see a slightly different distribution here, but you do see that fighter rogue still reigns supreme. So I think we got a lot of swashbucklers out there that dip a couple to get a fighting style. It's nice to dip into fighter either way when it comes to that heavy armor proficiency and everything else that happens there. So now let's see how we're doing on time. All right. So let's do this. So let's look at the individual classes. So out of bard, the bard, 15% of all active characters, that have multi-classes are bards, and you see that goes up slightly at level 20, which all of them do. I believe all of them do. Well, let's verify that. I think they all do. So bard, though, this is an interesting look here too. So let's see. Can I maximize this? Yeah. So I don't even know if that did anything. Did that do anything? Whoa, why did you jump all over? All right, hide your eyes for a second. All right, here we go. So, Bard, you can see that these are the levels that are going across the bottom here. And you can see that level 1 is a pretty popular dip for a Bard. You can see that level 2, not so much. Level 3 is another milestone. And then so on. And then all of a sudden we get another peak here at level 10. Do we know what happens at level 10 for a Bard? Magical secrets. So this is really, really interesting to look at that. Again, very popular to dip a level or maybe 3 levels into Bard. And then again, if you're multiclassing with a Bard. Now, the other part of this is I'm not sure you would consider that a dip if you go to 10 levels, right? So again, this is just where the number of multi-class bards actually are. You can see that the level 20 percentage of that here, if you make it to level 20, there are a whole lot of 10th level bards that are involved in multi-classing. So what is the most popular thing to multi-class with a bard? The rogue and the warlock. So we can see that pretty clearly here. The rogue and the warlock are the most popular thing that a bard multi-classes with. I'm going to have to fly just a little bit here. I don't want to take up the entire time. So cleric, a little bit lower than the bard. Actually, maybe about the same. Yeah, close to the same there. But you can see for the cleric that it very much so is a dip with a cleric. So level 1 is where you get your subclass with the cleric. Makes a lot of sense. You can grab things like heavy armor proficiency pretty easily that way. So that is the story for the cleric. You see that most of the time it is a level 1 dip. Fighter, wizard, and rogue are most popular combinations with the cleric. The druid, not many multi-class druids at all, like they are the lowest. So with the druid, if they multi-class, level 1 or 2, that's where they get their subclasses at 2, and then it drops off pretty dramatically. For some reason, we do see a higher distribution at 10th level. Is that where they get elementals? I'm not sure there, but either way, this is where druids come out at, and you see that druid, barbarians, and rangers, and then clerics are popular. Paladin, about the same as the other classes, except druid. You see that paladin, fairly popular at level 2, level 20 characters, 6 levels of paladin. Do we know what happens at 6th level for paladins? Oh yeah, they get the best ability in the entire game. Their aura that grants charisma bonus to saving throws to anyone that's within 10 feet. Very attractive ability. So you see that with paladins. The most popular thing to multi-class with the paladin is the warlock, fighter, and sorcerer. All right. Okay. Ranger, slightly higher percentage with the ranger multi-class. You can see a very jagged crown here. 1 level, not 2nd level, 3rd level. That's where they get their archetype. Not 4th level, 5th level. So that's where they get, I guess, extra attack is just what we're looking at there for the most part. But yeah, that's the ranger. Rogue, very popular for the ranger. Fighter, druid. All right, let's see. How do I there we go. So that was the generic kind of thing. All right, hold on 1 second. Let's see. Multiclass breakdown. I'm trying to find the other ones. Oh, I think poor monk is just by itself. Oh, wait. I always do that wrong. Dashboards is what I'm looking for. And here's the monk. So I think just for size, monk was by itself about the same as other classes. First level, 1 level dip. People wanting some martial arts. You can see with the monk here that if they make it to level 20, getting to level 17 is also another milestone. Monk multiclasses with rogue, fighter, and barbarian the most. All right, and then let's go to the last one. See if I can find it. Oh, there we go. So for sorcerer, slightly higher percentage with sorcerer. Oh, hold on. If you're listening, Will, mute me. I can't find my thing. All right, I'm back. That time of year. So sorcerer, 1 level dip, very popular with the sorcerers. Warlock is a natural way to multiclass with a sorcerer. Paladin, fighter. Warlock, here we go. So you see lots of Warlock multiclassing. And as you can see, first level, second level, and third level, very high. So first level, second level, that's where you start getting invocations for the first time. Third level is where you get your additional, your pact. It's not the subclass, but that's where you get your pact. So all of those very popular as well. You see that a lot of level 20 warlocks will go 17 to get that 9th level arcanum, and then multi-class into something else, probably sorcerer. So sorcerer, fighter, rogue, very popular for the warlock. The wizard is about with everybody else. You see if people do it, just little 1 or 2 level dips. Second level is where they get their school. If they go all the way to 20, level 10 becomes another break point. Lots of wizard warlocks, wizard paladin, that's interesting, and then fighter, getting close to the end. Barbarian, 15%, that's around everybody else. But you see, lots of people dipping barbarian for that 1 level. They want to be unarmored, apparently, and they want to be able to rage. So that is happening for the barbarian. Fighter, as you can imagine, very popular with the barbarian, and then druid rogue. And then is this the last one? Yeah. So fighter is the last one. Huge percentage of multiclassing happens with fighters. So this is the highest percent, 33%. And you can see that 1 level dip is popular, but second and third level is pretty popular as well. If you go all 20 levels, you go to 10, which is a lot of stuff's going on up through 10, especially all those ability score increases. If you like feats, this is understandable. At 11, I believe that's where they get their third attack. Yeah, it's where they get their third attack. So the fighter breakdown looks like this. Surprisingly, especially since the biggest combination is the fighter rogue combination. Warlock comes in pretty strong there, all the way through. Oh, here's rogue. I forgot rogue. Always forget those rogues. They're so sneaky. Almost as high as the fighter. You see that 1 level dips, 2, not so much, but then 3, that's where you get your archetype. Very popular as well. Rogue, warlock, all of these are the breakdowns for all the classes. So I know that that was a whole lot of information. So I appreciate everyone sticking with me during all of that. But it's a really, really interesting look at what's going on with multiclassing and what people are choosing out there and what the popular combinations are. We got a lot of questions about that. So hopefully that was pretty comprehensive and we can put a pin in that one for a while and we'll come back to it in a couple of quarters and see what is happening. All right, what is next? Q&A time. So what time is it? We've got time for questions. So let's see. On questions, let's do a few questions, but I want to make sure that I can judge the love stories as well. So we're going to get into that in maybe 10 minutes. All right. So, question from Is You All 69: Will your tactical map reincarnated be compatible with your future encounter builder tool? So, I got to think about how to answer this one. The encounter builder is not, at least initially, going to support anything about maps themselves. Over time, something that I showed off in last week's dev update, we do intend to introduce the concept of an interactive map that would have waypoints on it, places where you can pin information, that sort of thing. And we would be able to eventually tie those two encounters. So, considering that path and the interactive map part of this tactical map reincarnated absolutely would be usable within that system when that time comes. But the encounter itself is not going to have that notion of connectedness to maps until we get a little further down the road with the interactive map part of that system. Daniel Barris D&D. Can we enter our own homebrew monsters in the list for the encounter builder? Yes. Homebrew monsters are usable within the encounter builder. Absolutely no way we would want that to not be the case. So definitely usable there. And then once the monster builder, that is the big follow-up to the encounter builder, gets in place, you'll have even better tools to make those monsters. Stanji, could you briefly discuss the similar encounters on the encounter builder? The idea there, and that likely will not be out in the very first pass of what we do, especially in alpha. But the idea behind similar encounters would be that if I am putting together an encounter with 5 kobolds, then it's going to maybe suggest to me, no, I think it was 8 kobolds. I could be wrong. Let's say 8 kobolds. Then I'm putting that encounter together. It might show me a similar encounter exist within Horde of the Dragon Queen in Greenest in Flames. And it would show me that down there. It's meant as a time-saving device that as you start building an encounter, it will refine that list and show you potentially similar encounters that you maybe can not have to reinvent the entire wheel on. Over time, when we allow people to publicly share encounters, we likely, not confirmed yet, but likely would pull in community created encounters that are similar to what you're trying to get at as well. Zekmorn J. Will the encounter include a way to track hit points during the encounter? I know the initiative tracker is a bit out, but I'm still wondering if this is more of a planning tool versus using it during game. That is an excellent question. So the idea here, let me see if I can go back. How do I? Let's see. There we go. There we go. All right. So how do I bet I could go back here. I wanted to just show this. I think it'll be easier to see what's going on. Okay. So, and what was the question? All right. So basically, when you get to this point here, I don't know if you can see the cursor in the bottom right here, but the details. So essentially there is a page 1 to encounter building, which is this, and you will build the encounter, and all your creatures will be over here. You'll have everything you need. We put the Sphinx over here, and it's over with for everybody. So then you go to next, which is details, and that is where you will be able to change things about the encounter itself. You'll be able to give the encounter a description. You'll be able to give the dungeon master notes about running the encounter. We're possibly even thinking through like timeline for the encounter, where that can help people that might want to run the encounter. So all of that, that's also where you would customize things. You can customize the names of the creature. All of that is stuff that you'll be able to do on the fly as well, because a lot of dungeon masters out there use things like, you just hit this person, what does he look like? Oh, he's missing all of his front teeth, and then all of a sudden that creature becomes called toothless. All of that's going to be possible. And then there is a third page, and that third page is where you would run the encounter. And part of running the encounter absolutely will include initiative tracking. And there will naturally, as a part of that, be a way to pull the PCs into that. So to kind of let you know, it is likely that we would be, there's, let me say potential. We're going to be reviewing this in the weeks to come here, but there's potential that the first part of the alpha would only have page 1, maybe page 2, but either way, before we finish alpha testing and get something that we feel like would go into beta that would be more publicly available, that is where you will be able to do everything that you would want to do with the encounter itself. And then we will be making decisions at that point in time whether page 3 is available then, or if that is a follow-up type activity. Either way, we absolutely are marching down the path of making sure that we can track initiative with this as well. Kenjia 190 2001. Yeah, sorry about all the numbers. What is the strangest multi-class combo that I have seen, that I've personally seen? I don't even know the answer to that question. I'm trying to think in my games, what's the weirdest thing that I've seen? I've seen I saw somebody that was a bard, but then they were also a barbarian. So they were trying to go like, I thought they were going Valor Bard, and I started thinking, okay, maybe this makes a little bit of sense, but no, they went like Whispers with the Barbarian, and so that was probably the oddest that I've personally seen in the data. I'm not sure what the least popular was total, but we can dig into that in the future. This was kind of showing you the most represented. And just like we have with characters before, showing you the least represented combos, we can do that with multiclassing in the future as well. Saber Runner, what is the multiclassiest of characters on D&D Beyond? I don't know, but that's a good one. We'll see if we can figure that out for that follow-up. I am sure, in fact, during testing, we had a character that we named Gamdel Banglabon. He was a gnome, rock gnome. And I'm pretty sure at one point in time we gave him every single class because we were just trying to break things. So I'm sure that there have been people out there that are just trying to break things that gave a character every single class. Justin Bassett, does the tactical map actually grant a license to print them? A lot of print shops want assurance that the person has a license. Yeah, you have a license. I'm not sure what those print shops need, but you receive the files, and those files are yours to download and to print or copy for personal use. So if something further is needed than that, we can look into supplying that. All right, so finalists for the love story contest. We've got 3 finalists here, and I am actually going to read all 3 of these because gratefully they are brief enough that I can actually read them. All right, so from Crash and Burn Inc. Love story. My simple-minded half-giant barbarian Og fell in love with the sentient great club gifted to him by Maliki because she most nice to Og. Oh, Og. I love you, Og. And you love your great club. Okay. Alt F4 will help. Long ago, a pair of wizards wanted to live together forever, even in undeath. Once they'd both ascended to lichdom, they swapped phylacteries and now keep them safe for each other forever. Oh, wow. The couple that liches together stays together. That's a really, really good one, too. All right. Saber Runner, love story. When I ask my wife if I should cancel one of my games so we can spend more time together, she says that it's okay. And she wants me to do things that I like. Wow. That is a tremendous love story, Saber Runner. All right. So I am going to see here. Here, I just can't even decide. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we can do. All right. We're going to do this real quick. Let's see. This is going to be just too tough for me to decide, to be honest. All three of these are stellar. So we are going to we're going to, ask the audience on this one. IP dupe checking, that is fine. So now we're going to get my URL here. We're going to throw this into Twitch chat. So I'm putting the straw poll into Twitch chat. Please vote on that ASAP. Let's see what happens here with our love story winner. So Crash and Burn Incorporated, my simple-minded half-giant barbarian Og, fell in love with the sentient great club gifted to him by Maliki because she most nice to Og. Alt F4 will help. Long ago, a pair of wizards wanted to live together forever, even in undeath. Once they both ascended to lichdom, they swapped phylacteries and now keep them safe for each other. Oh, I forgot the other there. Saber Runner. When I asked my wife if I should cancel one of my games so we can spend more time together, she says that it's okay and that she wants me to do things that I like. This is outstanding. All right, so we're going to give that just a few more minutes, and I am going to answer a few questions in the meantime. So we're going to answer questions for just a few more minutes. If you have not voted on who wins the love story challenge today, please hit the link in chat. I'll throw it one more time in chat there. You can hit the link in chat and then be sure to vote. Right now, Og is winning, but we'll see if the other two do. So let's see how it goes. All right, some questions in the meantime. From Saber Runner, could we pull from the random encounter tables in various books? That is something that we definitely want to add to the encounter builder. It probably won't be there immediately because that's a good bit of content to enter, but it is something that we intend to place in there. The encounter builder also will have a completely randomized function based on environment and a series of parameters that you can do. I think that that's working now, actually. Let's see if it is. Let's see. Let's refresh because I'm sure something will break. But generate a, let's say 4 level 5s. Generate. All right. It gave us something. Whole lot of munchkins. But yeah, so randomize will work based on different parameters and filters. But yes, we would like to include those at least over time. All right, let's see what's going on with our poll. Ooh, Og is still in the lead. You guys vote if you like Alt F4 will help or Saber Runner's love story. Okay. Not Halfwing. Will we eventually be able to restrict parts of weapons, creatures, etc. from players without creating a wholly separate item? Example, thanks for the example because I don't know what you mean yet. If a weapon has a curse and you don't want the player to know it at first, that's a very good use case. It's not something that we've given a lot of thought to, but I like it, and we need to add it to a list somewhere. That likely would come in when we get into identifying items. So I'll be sure that we call that out in that whole process when we start to get into that. Elothos, configurable stat roller would be great. Is this coming for character creation? So dice rolling in general is something that is coming and something that we want to make happen. No ETA yet. As soon as we're doing those kind of things, yes, it would be available for any place where you would imagine it would be available, such as character creation, ability score generation, rolling on random tables in various places of the compendium. All of that is the goal. Arakaki, maybe. Will the encounter builder be integrated to the published adventures as a way of helping scale the encounters to different group sizes and levels? So once we get to monster building, we need that element in place before we can dynamically scale an encounter. But the idea is within the compendium, you would see some type of tooltip for the encounter, and you would be able to go to that encounter and modify that either during your prep or on the fly as you would need to. But yes, they will be embedded in the compendium. And then finally, Black Hand Gaming 138, will we be able to clump the monster in one initiative, or will it always be individually done? Very good question. Those monsters will be groupable, and you would be able to apply initiative to single groups with multiple monsters in them. So if you have a big bad evil guy and you have, your little kobold ads, then you can do initiative for kobolds, do initiative for big bad evil. If you want to use side initiative for player characters, you could also group those when that time comes, but that is in the future. All right, I'm going to give this one more refresh just to be sure, and it looks like, congratulations, Og has taken home the crown. Og is the love story winner. So Crash and Burn Incorporated, we will contact you after the stream to award you a legendary bundle. Congratulations. We really, really do appreciate everything that you guys are submitting here, your participation. I'm going to read the story of Og one more time, just where everybody can make sure that they've got it. My simple-minded half-giant barbarian Og fell in love with the sentient great club gifted to him by Maliki because she most nice to Og. Congratulations, Crash and Burn Incorporated. You have won our Love Story Challenge. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. I hope everybody has a wonderful day filled with love and laughter and everything else that you're looking for. Thanks again for joining us. We will be back next week to share more things. Thanks for hanging with us on this Valentine's Day. We'll see you soon. Thanks.